Then Jesus went thence and departed into the coasts of Tyre and Sidon. And behold, a woman of Canaan came out of the same coasts and cried unto him, saying, Have mercy on me, O Lord, thou son of David. My daughter is grievously vexed with the devil. But he answered her not a word. And his disciples came and besought him, saying, Send her away, for she crieth after us. But he answered and said, I am not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Then came she and worshipped him, saying, Lord, help me.
You remember that? And we came to the conclusion that the servant was a favorite, that he served well. We also came to the conclusion that if you are a servant, you ought to be willing to serve well. A servant, a good servant, I think would make a decent wage. He or she would make a decent wage. I'll use that word my mother used to use, a trifling servant. Y'all remember that word too, don't you? Trifling wage. If I'm going to work, I want to work and make a decent wage. And whether you know it or not, whoever employs you has their eye on you. Every time you think that they don't have their eye on you, they have their eye on you. Anybody that pays you money to do a job, they are watching you to some degree or another degree. And if they are unable to watch you, they got somebody watching you, and then they got somebody watching them. So, it pays to be a good servant. I try to be a good servant working for the Lord. I fail sometimes, I believe. But I get up and I try some more to be better. I mean, have you ever failed or felt like you failed? Let me see your hand. Here was a Canaanite woman. She came to Jesus. And we reckon that Jesus didn't really want to be bothered. That he wanted to kind of rest himself. Because I don't care who you are, you get tired. Yeah. Whoever you are, you get tired. Sometimes you get tired of what you're doing. You get tired of your job. But we already discussed that. When you take a job, we know you got to do it. Somebody say amen. This woman was a Canaanite woman, and she came to Jesus. And she came to Jesus crying out for help me. I thought that was so personal for her to say, help me. She wasn't concerned about nobody else's problem situation but hers at that point. Now some of y'all gonna say that was terrible. But listen, when you get at your wit's end, when you feel like you about to fall and ain't gonna get up no more, are you following me? And you gonna fall and you ain't gonna get up no more. Guess who you thinking about? You! You thinking about, I've been there, done that, I don't plan on doing that no more. And if I do it, I don't want to do it. Nobody wants to be down. Who asked for, Lord, put me down? What's wrong with you? This woman had a major situation. She had a major situation that in those days, what women did was usually take care of the sick people and watch over the children and take care of home. That's what they, as a rule, did. Now this woman had another situation that was bigger than herself. And you run into them, don't you? Yeah, I know you do, but you don't want nobody to know that you're running into them. But I got inside information. That you ran into a problem that you didn't have the answer to. I did it, boy. The one time. Yeah, I thought I had the answer to it. I thought I would have the answer to it when it came up. Lord, I wish I could talk the way I wanted to. Huh? But I didn't have the answer. But I know who did have the answer. Because the record is, he's got the answer to every situation. Your situation, my situation, your situation, no matter how big it is, no matter how small it is, he's got the answer, and his name is Jesus. Man. Now this woman, she took care of the sick. No matter she saw a lot of people dying, but now here's something real personal came to her house. Real personal. I heard somebody say things can get personal. Yeah. It's easy to pray for folks when they're away. When they ain't, you know. But those folks that you carry on your heart, because you carry somebody on your heart. I said you carry somebody on your heart, whether you want to or not. If something happened to that person, you say, I don't know what I would do. And that's carrying somebody on your heart. This woman approaches Jesus and says, I need help. I need help. I can't do anything about this situation. I tried, I did the best I know how. But now I realize that there is nothing I can do. Now Jesus was a Jew. And this woman was a Canaanite woman, and they had nothing to do. Get us some water. Get whoever needs some water, please. Jesus was a Jew, and this Canaanite woman, they had nothing to do with each other. So the question was, well, why would this woman come up to Jesus and make a request talking about, I need you? And so the disciples got upset about it. And they said, send her away, Master. We come up here to have a little rest and kick back, you know. But the woman could sit, kept on saying, I need you. Now, some folk can walk away from, I need you. Yeah, some folks can walk away from that and look the other way. Well, I have to admit it's kind of hard for me to walk away. Kind of hard for me to walk away when somebody said, Reverend, I need you. Now, if they say, Isaac, I need you, I can kind of walk away. I'm just putting it on to y'all. I'm just giving it to you. But if they put that R-E-V period in front of my name, that's a calling. And that's a calling from God on high. Somebody say amen. So I have to stop and see what the need is. Because maybe the Lord has given me what that person needs. He said, now you got to watch as well as pray. And you got to be ready, for you know not when I need you. I might call you at 1 o'clock in the morning. When you've been working all day long and you're tired as you ever have been, that might be the time that I need you. You know, when we started the church, Dr. Mitchell used to get on me all the time about that. He says, you can't go every time somebody needs you. He said, you get up out of your bed and you go by yourself, and you know the car, you ride 1 block and push it 2 blocks. I said, yeah, but I'll be all right, Dr. Mitchell. And see, I'm glad people be here that can witness that I've gone out and I come on back in. Lord be to kept me. Person be better. Sometimes they didn't need nothing, but I asked for it. Huh? So now that I'm older, I got an excuse. I'm not older, I'm older. So you know that arthritis you complained about? I got it now. Thank God for it. Y'all understand what I'm talking about, don't you? Don't be so stiff. So she needed what the Lord had. Even though what the Lord had was not prepared for her. She was a Gentile. And Jesus was a Jew. And Jesus came to save the Jews, the Gentiles first. They were to be saved first. And they didn't want to accept Jesus. Listen to me. They did not want to accept Jesus. So they decided to crucify him. Jesus set a nice table. Jesus set a nice table. Everything was there. And Jesus finally said, okay, if they don't want to come, whosoever will. Let them come. If they won't eat what I prepared, whosoever will that's hungry for salvation, they can come. So that's how we got into the whosoever wills. I said that's how we got into the whosoever wills. I don't mind being in the whosoever wills just since I got in. This woman finds herself needing the master. And she cried out, I need you. And the disciples said, rebuke her. Well, Jesus didn't like him, they didn't like him either. Well, Jesus sent her away. Jesus had a few words with the woman. He says, how am I going to give you the dog's bread? I didn't come for you. I can't give you what I prepared for the dogs. And the lady had an answer for him and said, yeah, but even the dogs eat the crumbs that fall from the table. And she said, she got me there. Huh? Yeah, she got me there. She says, your faith. You got faith. And what she did is she worked on Jesus. Oh, you can work on him. People said no, you can make them say yeah. Huh? Yeah, you can turn their minds around. Can't you, Bucky? What they call it, bargain. Bargain with them and just work on them and work on that. So Jesus looked at the woman an entirely different way. Because she had faith in Jesus. I tell you, church, if you don't have faith in nothing else, have faith in the Lord. Have faith in the Lord. Because he won't let you down under no circumstances will he let you down. A prayer was short, was tenfold. It was short. You don't need to pray no long prayer. A few words. I found out a few words will open doors. Huh? A prayer was short. Lord, I need you. Now, what's better than that? Lord, I need you. That'll cause somebody to run. And then she came up with an humble prayer. Not demanding and not boisterous, but humble. She came to the master. But then she was also desperate. There was desperation in her voice. And you know, you can tell when folk have desperation within them. But then she was still respectful. Amen. And if you really want to get something out of somebody, you need to be respectful. Even if you don't feel like being respectful, even if they're not respectful, you be. That's right. All right. That's right. Yes. In spite of everything, you be respectful. But also, being respectful does not stop you from being determined to get what you want. If they put you out one door, you come back in another door. That's how I did it right here. I worked that thing. Yeah, I worked that thing. They let me in that door over there to see the place. I went out that door right there. And then the next day I come back in that door. And then every time they would see me drive up, somebody just said, go to the door, go to the reverend. They go, reverend, you can look around. I almost stayed here as long as they did. They should have paid me for 40 hours. But I was determined, you hear me, to get this building. Because I knew the Lord had it for us. You know, when the Lord got something for you, all you got to do is reach out for it. A lot of you don't have very much because you don't reach out. You satisfied where you are. But you need to get up from where you are. You remember when Jesus healed the man that had laid at the pool for 38 years. He told him to take up your bed and walk. So take it up. Get out the way and let somebody else in. You're healed. Take up your bed. This was a real prayer. This woman wasn't playing no games. See, some folk play games. Yeah, some folk play games in serious hours. So when a real serious hour comes, nobody pays you any attention. This wasn't this woman's rights. She had no rights as a Christian, as one following Jesus. So she couldn't demand anything. But you and I, we're following Jesus. It's hard sometimes, but we're following him. We fall sometimes, but he knows that we're doing the best that we know how. I'm doing it, I don't know about you, but I'm doing the best that I know how, and I want to satisfy him. I'm not worried about satisfying people, but I really want to satisfy him. I asked myself this morning as I drove down the aisle to drive to church, I said, Master, are you satisfied with me? Because that's what I want him to be, is to be satisfied. When I wake up in the morning, I want him to be satisfied with me. Oh, it'll be all right if he's satisfied with you, but I really want him to be satisfied. Because he's the King of kings and the Lord of lords. So I want him to be satisfied with me. Here was involved the salvation of our souls, body and spirit. I want my soul to be saved, I want my body to be saved, and I want to have the right spirit way down on the deep side of me. This dog's bread Jesus was talking about. It just wasn't bread, and he wasn't necessarily talking about a dog. He was using that because that was the language of the people in that day. The Jews called people dogs if they weren't Christians, if they weren't Jews. It wasn't supposed to be insulting. It was just the language of that day. And this woman was a Canaanite woman, which made her not a Jew. So all of these things that Jesus would have to offer did not belong to her. They did not belong to her.